welcome to the 4-Mile Circus.
4-Minute Circus.
Oh shit, it's the 4-Minute Circus.
Yep.
I gotta go faster. Let me slow down. Welcome to the 4-Minute Circus. 4-Minute Circus is a shortened version of 4-Mile Circus podcast by 4-Mile Circus, a full-cycle media services company in Brooklyn, New York. My name is Sean. That's probably Nicole. I don't know. It could also be Joe Morton.
You never know.
You never know. He's a genius. But today we're talking about favorite things with our friends from the Brother from Another Planet podcast. Do you guys have any favorite things lately?
I'm going to steal, maybe you have this one down. My favorite thing right now is this teen sitcomedy dramedy thing called Everything Sucks. It's set in 1996. It's based on these high school freshmen. I, too, was a high school freshman in 1996. It is a pretty clean show ratings. I mean, as far as language, but it's wholesome in a way that I haven't seen before. It's a sitcom where like there are no bad people. Everyone's just really doing their best. And as awkward and messy as that can be, and people get hurt and all this other stuff, you get access to everyone's points of view and how they've come by their ways. Honestly, I watched the whole thing in 16 hours over the course of that because I watched the first 7 episodes and it was 2 a.m. and I had to go to work. So I finished them up the following night. It's my favorite thing right now. I didn't know about it until the day I put it on, and yeah, Everything Sucks on Netflix. It's tremendous.
I think my favorite thing right now is the excitement I'm seeing little black girls and black boys have about Black Panther in a way that I was excited about. Like, I think Star Wars when I was a kid, but like it speaks to them on a level that Star Wars never spoke to me. And like seeing kids dress up, I was in a Target, like grumpy and angry because I'm in a Target and I was looking for something, and then like Ebenezer Scrooge, like it all washed away when I saw his brother and sister like playing with Black Panther toys in the aisle, and I feel like I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
them and like being so excited to be a part of this reality outside of our own. I was like, oh my god. And seeing adults touched by it and just the whole world, I'm like, oh man, I love this vibe right now. We needed it. And so that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I couldn't really find black toys when I was a kid. You have to search for them, like to get Hardball or any of them.
Yeah,
Roadblock.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing right now is this book I picked up at Quimby's bookstore. There Are More Beautiful Things Than Beyonce by Morgan Parker.
Oh, yeah.
It's a poetry book. I think it's awesome. I've been reading her poetry a lot and Audre Lorde's poetry. It's been awesome. I like poetry. I write poetry. Cool. So yeah, poetry. Read that shit.
Yeah, it's there's something about young black joy that gets me every time.
Yeah.
I've thought about this every time I'm walking home from the gym or whatever. There's a school that I walk past and there's kids doing recess or whatever, camp, something like that. It's mostly black children, and I walk by and I just feel good in a way that I don't care at all when I see any other kinds of children. because I know that the other shoe is going to drop at some point, and it hasn't yet. Yeah. And I just want them to have it for as long as possible.
Yeah.
You know, so that's. Whereas I look at a little white kid, I'm like, you'll be fine. But that's just me.
I agree. I see black children, I'm like, have fun, yo. Have fun. You have no idea what's going on right now. Have fun, yo.
It's powerful.
Honestly, it's
It's
like
powerful seeing a little black boy put on this Black Panther outfit and it's like, yeah, bullets gonna bounce off this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that touches me in a way.
I like that. Black Panther being a just
And the Dora Milaje and just
it's so important right now because I think that it's given life to a generation of young people who are on track to be told no in ways that they might seem overwhelmed by, but they can actually probably they have a point of reference to be like, yeah, but yes though. And in a way that we didn't necessarily, or at least we didn't have a model in place that reflected us in order to do that. I mean, most of the action heroes that we emulated or wanted to follow were probably white or probably men. And to know that there are going to be, hopefully, a generation of young black boys who look at the Dora Milaje and think,
Right.
yes, they, I mean, to
The black
just-
girls inspired by STEM with Shuri's character.
yeah, like just subliminally representing a society with gender equity and feminism as just a matter of fact is something that I don't know that a big budget film has ever done, and that's including Wonder Woman.
Right.
So-
Agreed.
Yeah.
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 Do you have a favorite thing today, Nicole?
My favorite thing is what popped to mind is very cheesy, and Sean may make fun of me for it.
I always make fun of it.
That's true.
Is it actually cheese?
No, it is not. Although it could be. I think my favorite thing this week is honestly spending time with. I got to spend a lot of time with my grandmother, who's 99, and then right when I came back to town the next day, I spent all day with my niece, who's 14 months old. And something about that juxtaposition,
Yeah.
like got my head on straight. And the
Right.
past few days have been like better than
Oh,
I
yeah.
usually feel.
What song is playing in
It'll
your
get
head?
worse.
Oh. Dang. Dagger.
Hashtag it gets worse.
Partying like it's 1919.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ask her what her secret was when you were with her?
Oh, I know her secret. I mean, her secret, she complains a lot and
Oh.
has a lot of, I mean, she hates Donald Trump more than anybody I know. Like more than any, and the things, I'm not going to say them on this podcast. Some of the things that she says, some of the things she says she wishes would happen, some of the plans she makes about how it could happen. Like she really,
She's got 99 years of experience.
yeah. And she's like, fuck
This is how you
this.
gotta do it.
Like I was,
Like a century of toxic, of trash men and all the things that she could possibly devise.
and she saw things get better. She saw things get better, and then she saw this happen.
Yeah.
And like we celebrated her 99th birthday a little early, and the day we celebrated it was actually last summer, the day of the rally in Charlottesville, which we were talking about earlier. And so, given that my grandma has the TV on all day,
Right.
that was on the TV all day. I was there with like my sister's husband is from Charlottesville.
Okay.
So, and like his mom was like at the counter demonstrations there. So we're there at my grandmother's 99th party. And like my sister and her husband are trying to like find out if like family and friends of theirs are like okay.
Yeah.
And my grandmother's sitting here being like, there's Nazis marching in the street. This is great. You know, this like
Yeah.
she's not here for this crap. And she's got a
Right.
lot to say about it. And I'm glad at least that she gets to express it to us, even if I wish that she would like express it to the public more, because I think it's valuable actually to hear what older people who've lived
Who've
through,
seen it, yeah.
you know, have to say about right now. 'Cause she's not like old and docile. She's like pissed off.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
Yeah.
Basically.
I often get into a brief debate with people who will comment on how things have gotten better or how things have changed since, for instance, the 60s. And they're contemporaries of mine. These aren't people who were there. And the first thing that I tell them back is, it depends on who you're asking. It always does. And even on paper, like, yeah, sure, we had probably the best president of all time before this one. And there are a lot more millionaires of color since the 1960s. But ask somebody who lives in East New York, who has lived in East New York for 3 generations, and everybody's locked up
Yeah.
for no fucking reason. Like, ask them how things are getting better, you know. And if people from those conditions, whether they're women, people of color, any kind of disadvantage you can think of, if they're the ones who are saying, yeah, actually, it's still pretty shitty for us, we should probably listen to them before we start saying, but look at the progress we've made, because how much is it really? You know, if like, can we should just not celebrate yet. You know, it's like, let's keep working, because if anything, even if there's a degree to which it's true, these improvements, like, we're not done. And we can't risk the idea that we might be good to go. There's just no time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. And on that note, what's your favorite thing, Sean?
Robot jocks. Screw your like feelings. I like family. I like poetry. I like important things that matter. I like crappy movies about giant robots punching each other and having chainsaw dicks.
That was Michael York, right?
No, it was
Chainsaw Dicks.
I didn't know that part.
it's Gary Graham.
From Alien Nation.
Yeah, from the Alien Nation show. Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anne Marie Johnson was in it too.
Yes.
She played Robert Townsend's wife in all his specials and Partners in Crime, and she was also the woman in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker who pulled all her stuff off.
Yeah.
And
I remember her.
She was Roger's wife in What's Happening Now.
Yeah.
She stays
She was on
working
Heat
in
of
some
the Night.
capacity. Yeah, as
yeah.
the wife of the Tibbs-ish dude.
Yeah.
Who had a pretty
Interesting
checkered life.
Yeah, interesting life.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember in the age of print TV guide, and he was involved in a scandal. Was he wearing makeup?
He was out there. Yeah,
Cross-dressing,
he was
something like that?
cross-dressing and out in the streets.
Yeah,
Out in the streets, getting arrested.
living his best
while
life.
playing Detective Tibbs, and it was like I remember being like, you know what? Life is interesting.
Yeah,
And live it to your fullest, man.
yeah.
Live it to your fullest.
Just confused about this Chainsaw Dicks thing, but go ahead.
It's a giant robot, and a chainsaw comes out where its robot dick should be.
Robot
Yeah.
jocks.
So it's a
man.
robot dick.
Yeah, it
Robot
was
chainsaw
like,
dick.
They were like, yo, we're not making this for kids. Kids are
What's
gonna
funny
watch this.
there's a story about it, and they talked about it because it was at one of the Alamo Draft's House like Weird Wednesday thing. So there was a host, and so he talked about how there was a little bit of a conflict between the director Stuart Gordon, director of Reanimator and From Beyond and other great films, and Joe Haldeman, the screenwriter, about is it a adult movie that appeals to kids or a kids movie that appeals to adults. I think Stuart Gordon was like, this is a kids movie that appeals to adults, and Joe Haldeman was like, but I want to make a adult movie that might appeal to kids. And so like in the movie it really never knows which one it wants to be.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, but in the end I think it is kind of a kids movie, just there's like slightly more sexual content in it.
Well, yeah, the Americans and the Russians, we shake hands at the end.
Oh, they don't shake hands.
They don't shake hands.
I have the GIF on my phone.
Is it a pound? What is, they got
It's the pound with the thumbs,
thumbs
up.
up.
It's like boom, and it's the last shot of the movie, and it's beautiful.
Achilles. Yeah, and then they pound.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we could all learn a lot from Robot Jocks.
We
is
could.
what
It's
I'm-
about world peace, Nicole.
That's beautiful.
If I can
Yeah.
change and you can change, everybody can change.
Exactly.
Not enough movies about future sports.
Uh-huh.
Like every time we make a movie about sports, like, nah, I want like what are the weird sports we're gonna be playing like in the future?
Bro,
Blitzball.
rollerball was gabooge. Death Race, I still fucks with. Solar Babies, I want to see that league.
Let's see Solar Babies.
I want to see Blitzball become a reality from Final Fantasy X.
Running Man,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Running Man, man. Ooh. Yeah, nah, I love Running Man.
yeah. But yeah, future sports.
Just me Christmas tree. Like, oh, I love that movie.
Well, this was sort of a 4-minute circus. We're 4MileCircus, 4MileCircus.com, 4MileCircus, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you guys, where are you guys again for everybody?
Where are you? When Titter's a thing, we're gonna be all over it. But I will just say that if you guys want to add another podcast to your life, by all means, if you're a Stitcher guy or an iTunes gal, go ahead and look up Brothers from Another Planet and listen to us, like us, subscribe to us, tell your friends. We talk about race, entertainment, and the intersection thereof. Our projects, your projects. We kind of talk about a lot of that stuff. So, give us a listen after you're done with 4MileCircus.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at Tarik Davis. That's TarikRDavis.
I got nothing, man. I agree. Yo, follow Brothers from Another Planet, Comedy People's Time. Look it up.
Mannequin. I think that's what set it off.
We mean my Christmas tree?
You're eyeballing the mannequin and thought of Twitter? That's how it happened.
Yo,
That's what you just cop to. That's
That
what
makes
you just
sense.
said.
I'm gonna watch Mannequin as soon as I get home, man. My
Yeah.
favorite thing is Hollywood.
B. Shaq Taylor, man.
Yeah.
Shout out.
That reminds me that nothing's going to stop us now, except for me hitting the record button again and stopping the record.